perfect example of the humbling experience when you live with somebody, you borrow somebody's car. You know, this is the first time I've ever been through anything like this in my life. I wasn't ready. So I took a big fall in life, but people don't go ahead back what you were saying.
Code, the streets, principles, man, principles. Like Ho said, you know, you dropped out of school, you lost your principles. And for me, I think it just goes back to where the good book that I put my life on, I bet on it any day. It talks about how you got to raise up a child in the way it should go. And a lot of my upbringing was designed on that family structure of survival. And I'm watching over the trajectory of the years where it's no longer about protecting family, it's more everybody's out to kill just for a slice of bread. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you'll cross your best friend, you'll tell on your best friend just so you don't go to prison or you don't, and there's no sense of loyalty, not even in the streets, so it's definitely not flowing into the family structure. You know, when I grew up, man, my mother told me, yo, you go outside, y'all leave together, y'all come back together.
Right.
You know, you put your hands on my brother, you go put your hands on me too.
Right.
We had that sense of loyalty, and now it's diminishing every single day.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything.
Absolutely.
And so I just feel like for brothers like us who made it out of the struggle, God has blessed us to have another opportunity of life. I dedicated the rest of my life to cleaning up what I messed up. You know, going back, being a man of good moral, good character, and against the odds, standing and being a representation of the light in this dark times, that, you know, we can change the direction and where our young people are going and where this next generation is going. Everybody want to get money. Everybody want to focus on the cars, the jewelry, and everything. But let's talk about just being a holistic man, being healed from the trauma, being healed from the things that because we grew up thinking cats getting shot and selling drugs. This is normal to us. It wasn't until I had to sit in front of a therapist to realize, you know, how you grew up is not normal, right? It's not normal. And now I had to be healed from that trauma. Like, and all these things that we had to suffer and survive growing up, seeing fiends in the middle of the street, passed out, and some of them dead on the corner. Like, all that is trauma.
Yeah,
and then you
trauma.
put that you take that man and you put him with a woman. How you think that home is going to look like?
Yeah.
What you think that home structure is going to look like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we got a lot of work to do, man. And people don't want to. We got a lot of work to do.
You know what it is too? The street life and the code of secrecy of the streets. That stuff compiles over years of secrets. Secrets of shootings. Somebody died, you can't talk about it. Something happened, you can't talk about it. Something you didn't experience, you witnessed, you can't talk about it. So therapy is like talking. There's a whole lot of talking going on in therapy. It's like, you know, and I remember when I first started like actually exploring therapy, it was really hard for me to talk. You know what I'm saying? It was like, even if there's no real liability legally, it was just so embedded into me where it's like, you just don't talk about whatever happened. That was yesterday, you don't talk about it, act like it never happened, you don't change, you know. We're not talking about it. I don't know what you're talking about.
And here's the thing: they taught us growing up not to talk about it. This what happens in this house stays in this house. You don't run your mouth back to. But it wasn't to protect us, right? It was to protect the predator, whoever the person was invoking the pain, from being exposed, right? And the beautiful thing about therapy is now you can expose, because you can't heal what you won't reveal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they never, I don't know if they thought about that part of it or not, but like, yeah, we protecting Aunt, but don't you know that there's wounds that if I never open up and talk about this, I'll never be able to be healed from? If I can't, and people don't want to be embarrassed, they don't want to be made look like a fool, but at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're passing this down from generation to generation, unhealed,
unhealed trauma,
old, right? Unspoken trauma, like, and it's not making us better. because it shows up in the areas of our life in the wrong place. All your boss said was, I don't think you did your best, and now you thinking all this crazy and you jumping off and all somebody said was, I don't think you applied your best. But you don't know it's connected to some childhood trauma where your mother never told you that she loved you, or your father wasn't around, and now you in a beneficial
issues and rejection and so forth.
And you taking out, you blowing up, you crashing out, and it's not even based upon what just happened, but what happened 5 years ago that you never opened up to.
Right.
You never talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, so we're getting good opportunities, but we're destroying them with our mouths and with our hands because we haven't dealt with that trauma.
Amen. 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 Well, listen, you know, it's never too late, right, to rebuild the broken life, rebuild the broken man and broken woman. We've all been through a whole bunch of stuff. But the amazing thing about life is that you really can heal. Healing is real. You can heal. You know what I'm saying? You can change your mindset. One thing I learned, and I love this quote, your situation changes the minute your perspective changes. Your circumstance changes the moment you change your perspective. The minute you change the way you're looking at things, this is, you know, as to what you're going through, it changes the entire situation altogether. You know, some of these things are meant to be lessons for us to learn from. You know, toxic relationships can leave you really messed up. Economic crisis can leave you really messed up. But if you take that and say, you know what did I learn from this? As painful as it is, what did I learn from this? You can't help everybody. That's one thing that I've learned. I can speak for myself. You can't help everybody. You're gonna destroy your life trying to help everybody. In some cases, the crab in the barrel, they don't love you as much as you think they love you. Oh, they love me. They don't love you, brother. Say no. Say no. They don't love you. You know what I'm saying? You're the last person on your list that used to be honorable to me. I don't think about myself. I just think about helping everybody else. I put myself last. Now that sounds like stupidity.
Yeah, and it's a messed up psychological approach, because for me, I was always trying to be to someone's assistance, trying to show people I was a good person and willing to help people and let people take advantage of me, not wanting to say no and just always showing up for people, right? And I thought it was an honorable thing. And in a sense, it is,
It
right?
is, right.
But what I didn't know was that my reason for taking that approach to everything and everybody is because I was dealing with rejection issues.
Right.
So I'm so quick to run to somebody's rescue. I'm so quick because I want people to see me as and accept me as and be there for me, because I want and when my whole life they told me I'd never be nothing.
Right.
They told me that, you know what I'm saying, my mother wasn't around, pops wasn't around, you know what I'm saying, couldn't keep a chick, you know, always in and out of relationship. So I had acceptance and rejection issues, and people that I love seemed to always disappear and up and go. So my way of being was to try to show people and get people, and I wasn't doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So first I had to love myself. And when you love yourself enough, you're not gonna let people run over you. You're gonna have morals, you're gonna stand on business, and you're gonna have areas where, okay, I'm not doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For my safety, my peace, my tranquility, and the well-being of myself, I'm not gonna allow certain things to go down on my watch. Protecting me first, then I can look out for you.
And why this is so important. You learn how to say no to the wrong people, right? Because people can be energy vampires. They only come around you, you know, something's going wrong, all the problems that come to you. You think it's a good thing because they're coming to you, but really they're energy vampires. But once you start to build a good, healthy, strong network where there's reciprocation, they care about you just as much as you care about them. They honor you just as much as you honor them. Those are the best people to go out of your way for. When you go out of your way for somebody that you know will go out of their way for you, you're making progress. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself a good network. You know, weed those bad friends out. You know, hold on to the ones that showed you and tried to show you that they're in your corner, they care for you, man. And reward that, reward that loyalty with your presence, man. I think that's one of the best things you can ever do, man. People don't know the importance of having a great network, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I credit my life and the opportunities and the blessings that I have to a certain degree to my network, the people that I call my friends, the people that I work with. I'm blessed to have them in my life, and so get you a good network, man. Get rid of those crummy guys that's using you and draining your energy and all that.
Yep. And speaking of network, I got to talk about the squad. I got to talk about the mob.
Okay, talk about it, bro.
And that was one of the reasons why the Lord put on my heart to create the organization MTF, which stands for More Than Family. MTF Mob, More Than Family, moving onward, breaking barriers. It's because, like I said, for those who don't know, I grew up in gangland, right? My parents were strung out on drugs. I was in and out of foster homes at an early age, homeless, growing up, not knowing where I'm gonna lay my head. Big sis trying to play mom and make sure we good, make sure we eat. So we went through it, and a lot of people could relate to that because that's the story of a lot of people that come from where I come from. But one of the reasons that I got entangled in the gangs is because I never had a family.
Right.
I never had that support, and I was going through some serious beef, got into it with some cats up the block, and it was the Bloods that came through for me to make sure that my life was preserved. And I'm gonna stop right there. All right, and so being able to create an organization for people who don't have family, to have that family support, not in the crime and the things that we grew up in, but that support of, being grounded, figuring out your gifts, your talents, and having that support to be able to chase your dream, chase that vision, right? Like I could have been successful, but the culture that I grew up in told me going to school to become an actor or to dreams of becoming a businessman. Now you a dope boy, put this gun in your hand, knock this pack off, we gonna be the biggest drug dealers around, right? That was the only thing that was supported in my culture growing up. It was considered to be corny if you wanted to go off to college, or if you didn't want to skip school or smoke weed, you was considered to be something corny. And so now MTF, it builds that culture of, right, God first, understanding who you are as a person, being healed from trauma, having that family support. We eat together, all for one, one for all, and really doing something positive and bringing positive light and energy to a group of people who have the same mindset, who want it better, who want to build family, who want to build family structure, who want to live in their God divine purpose and have that support from people who are like-minded. You know what I'm saying? So MTF, and I always tell people, when you think about MTF, I want you to think about what you would do for a family member that you love. Not just a family member, because we got some family we don't want to deal with. Right. I ain't, you family, but don't call me, don't come around, he there, I ain't coming. Right? But when you got that family member that you love and you gonna ride for, you can imagine the things you would do for that person.
Right.
So imagine what we would do for somebody that's more than family.
Right.
Like that's the dedication and the loyalty that we putting out for this organization, is that we ain't gotta be related by blood. But if you with us, you with the vision, you can see it clearly, you really wanna make something happen, then MTF is where you need to be, because here you're more than family, and we stand on that.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, and I think we met at the right time.
Right time. God's time is the best time, man.
I kind of look at it as MTF as perhaps part of a reformation that may be taking place.
Absolutely.
A reformation of church and religion as we know it. It's got to evolve. I don't think it's where it needs to be, and I think that's the reason why God gave you that vision to create a community. Because one thing I learned when we talked about it, I was like, yeah, that's all right. That sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't play church. I don't like church. Tim, I don't like church, bro. I don't like church people, man. I don't like hypocritical church people. I don't like judgmental people. I'm so sick of church. Man, it's crazy. You know, and I always feel like they always get a pass. You can't tell them the truth because I'm from church, you know, you can't say it to the pastor, you can't say. And I said, man, you know, I'm about done with this. I remember my boy right here, man. Yeah. I said, I'm about done with this. This is about the end of you get to screw me over and manipulate this, that. Then when I get to say something to you, I can't say to you because you the pastor. Okay, this is it. I'm done.
I'm gonna put a little cut on that a little bit, just a little bit.
Put some cut on it because I'm about to go wild.
Because I agree with you, but I'm gonna say I don't like the representation of church today. Right. We got some false prophets, we got some false representatives, and it's up to guys like us who says enough is enough.
Yeah.
Right. Where we stand up, stand on business, stand on God's business, and be that representation of what God really represents.
That's it.
You know, and so for MTF, it was about getting out of those four walls, that religious system, and really getting out into the community, building the community where people are, their everyday needs are being met. You know how many people go to a church building every week, leave there, put money in that offering plate, go home, and there's no lights on in their house.
I'm about to say it
There's
now.
no food. There's no food
It's
in
too
the
late.
fridge. How am I giving tithes and offerings to a church, and I go home and I'm struggling? I'm not. I didn't come to God. I didn't struggle in the streets, dog.
Right.
We struggled, but we figured I'm not leaving a street lifestyle of being able to, you know, hustle hard, get the things I want. And, you know, we did some illegal stuff, let's be honest, right? I'm
Just
not
a little
leaving
bit.
illegal stuff and crime
Allegedly.
to come to, allegedly. I've been convicted. They caught me. I got caught. I'm not leaving that type of lifestyle, right? To come over to walk with Christ, to be struggling worse than, like, God showed me a good life, you know, fortunate, unfortunate. But I'm not coming to this because God, when I read the word, that's not the God I see. That's not the God of the Bible I see, where his people are like, nah. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. There are better days, right? And so I got to get away from that system. Right?
Because they're feeding on the people, man.
Yeah, it's not really his word
It's
or
not
God
good.
that fails us. It's the system and what you're tithing into and what you're dedicating your life to. It's hard to do the right thing in the wrong system. In church, the representation of church right now, we got the wrong system. And so with MTF, we're changing that system. Like, it first starts with you, because we can't have a good community if we don't got quality people. The community gonna suck.
Right.
So we got to start working on, you got to work on yourself. There's a lot of people right now, good-hearted people, but they got to work. My father right now, good dude, could build a house from the ground up by himself. And probably could make the supplies. Like, he's a guru, he's the GOAT. But he's strung out on crack, right? And he's no good to nobody until he better himself.
Right.
I brought my father home to help him with his, addiction. I'm like, yo, Pops, put you on the train ticket, boom, send you some money, get you up here. I want you out of that rut. You're gonna come up here. I got a job for you, got somewhere for you to live, everything. I want to see you clean. I want to see you sober. I bring this Negro up here. Guess what he do 2 months in? He robbed me.
He robbed you, bro.
Stole my V. I'm calling him, yo, Pops, where you? He stopped answering the phone. I go to my crib. He done hit my little stash. All that. House smell like crack cocaine. Like, you good people,
Yeah.
but if you don't work on yourself,
Boundaries.
you're going to destroy the people around. So we got to really start working as a community to make sure we're enhancing the quality of people.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the basics. Like,
Back to the
why
basics, man.
change the king in the
We
U.S.
pulling from people, we taking from people, but as a church, as a
Right.
community, how well are we pouring back into the people for them to be self-efficient, to be independent, to be able to be good fathers, good mothers, and build family structure where I don't have to rely on the church to take care of me. I don't have to rely on the government to take care of me, but I figured out a way to make ends meet for myself,
Getting back to the basics.
you know? I'm sorry, I feel like I just went on a rant just quick.
No.
I was going in.
This is it. We hit it. Ain't no turning back now.
Yeah, you get me worked up a little bit.
Get back to the basics, doing the right thing, loving thy brother, taking care of the widow, taking care of the oppressed, taking care of the downtrodden, just doing what's right. And what happens a lot of times is the people come in to get help, and they end up helping the church, but they ain't getting no help. These guys, this has got to stop. One of the reasons why we start talking about money, the church is the largest institution close to the bank in America. In terms of collective groups of people and money and having resources, it's the bank, and then it's the church.
That tax guy.
Taxes,
and
a lot of money.
But that church, it don't reciprocate. They got all the money, but it don't never come back around. So they want to give you the faith, and they want to give you the biblical principles.
No. They don't even give the faith. They give you Jesus, and they give you a false perception of who Jesus
money.
Is, right? Because Jesus, what he really represents is a reformation.
He does represent reformation.
Of bringing a group of people together that normally wouldn't have been qualified to be together.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And what did they do? They made sure they had all things in common.
Right.
He put the people with one accord. He brought the people together, and he showed them how to work and live together in unity and harmony and love.
Right. And that's not what's happening today.
It's not.
It's not what's happening today.
It's greed.
It's
through
greed.
the gospel
and
of
then
Jesus.
You can't say nothing
you see
to
a lot
it,
of prosperity, focusing on. That's not what he.
You can't say nothing to him, right? So I'm a tithing member in your church. I'm in partnership with you, essentially. I'm giving you money when I don't even have it, because I'm trying to honor this partnership that I have with this church. But when I have something going on that's important to me, I can't come to you and say, hey, listen, I need the support of my community here. No, because this is what it is. You're pimping. Pastor, you're pimping. You're pimping out the church. The church is your home. She goes out there and makes you your money.
Lord have mercy.
I'm keeping it real. Because that's why I say, I'd rather just have a community or a network of people that I work with, because I know I'm going to bring value. To anybody that I'm around, I'm going to bring value. You're going to make more money. You're going to be more successful. I'm going to be able to help you with this and that. I know my quality of what I bring to the table. You're going to be blessed by me being a part of your life. What do I get? What do I get?
You can't get what they don't have to give.
Right.
And I want to put this disclaimer out there too, because I don't want to put everybody in the same pot. You do have some good church organizations and structures. There are some representation of good leadership out there. You got a lot of church organizations that's doing right by the people in the community. But unfortunately, there's more bad than good.
There's more bad than good.
And so the church is definitely getting a bad rap right now, because these people who aren't standing up being what they need to be are all in the media, they're all in the front, and they're getting the most limelight, because negativity spreads faster than positivity. And what we have to begin to do is we have to stop subscribing to these things. And they only have the power that the people give them. The government, if we look at the government, the people, right? That's the government. You can't have a government without people, right? And the church can't have this power if the people aren't empowering it and enabling these leaders to continue doing what they're doing. So when we talk about church or Jesus, they're giving you Jesus, but they're not giving you the faith, because the faith is based upon some commandments and principles. That's the faith. Yeshua came to represent the faith. He said, my Father, I came to do the will of my Father. That's the faith, right? And so because we strayed away from the faith, a lot of people don't understand what the faith is. They just know Jesus, and they know how powerful that name is and how influential that name is, and they use that name for purpose, self-purpose, and self-gain, and things of that nature. You can't just keep putting Jesus, like they put Jesus' name on Easter. That has nothing to do with the faith of who he is, but because they're just using his name recklessly.
It's gotta stop.
And he's upset. I'm telling you, if this was back in the day,
I want my money back.
He's not happy.
This is what I'm saying. I want my money back. This is what I'm talking about. Listen,
he's not happy how people.
If I'm giving to you, I'm gonna tell you. I told this to a preacher once. I said, listen, I don't care if tithing is biblical or not biblical. If I tithe to your church because I believe that you're gonna do the right thing, I believe you're gonna take this money, you're gonna build up something that's gonna help all these people. If you're not gonna do that, I want my money back. And with that being said, we're gonna end this.
You stopped this out? Yeah, I'm glad you stopped.
You'll get a chance to clarify your
Tune in.
position.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We gonna listen. We gonna uncover and expose all of this.
More come.
You know what I'm saying? But it's great to be a part of a community of believers. But we can worship together. We can do business together. It's not all one-sided. I have a problem with that. I'm not playing that anymore. I'm done with that. You know, it's not about you're taking a lot of money from the people. You're taking a lot of money from the people, but we don't get to talk about nothing with no money. You don't support nothing. Now here's something. When you pay tithes, right? When you pay tithes to a church, right? I pay tithes to a church. You pay tithes to your church. The more money you make, the more money you tithe, right? If I make $10,000 more, I tithe more off that additional $10,000, right? Wouldn't it make sense that your church should support whatever business endeavor because they're reaping the benefit of your growth? You have people who know that you're a plumber, they know that you're an electrician, they know that you do this. They won't even recommend your services. But they want you to tithe off your money.
And here's the thing.
I've been in a situation where I've seen them almost close the door or something. You saw that whole thing on the live. I've seen that when like, hey, listen, we're not about to
close the
service. So we got $10,000. Who got? We need 200 people.
But see,
we got this. We need 100 people. Got this.
It goes back to us, right? Because if we move wiser, if we start moving more smarter, we'll stop empowering these people to do that. Because at some point, you got to take back control and say enough is enough. I know the Bible, I know biblical structure, and you're not following it, I'm out. That's why we have this network. That's why we're here to show you that, guess what? I can have God and I don't need your church. I don't need your pastor. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a great relationship with God. We're gonna do great things in our community. You're gonna be able to make money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna be stepping on your toes. I'm gonna leave it at that for now because I feel like I want to say something. I want to call somebody's name out. No.
No, we ain't doing that.
Never mention names. We promise respect.
Listen,
right? But here's the thing. In light of the word and what we're talking about, one of the key things is study to show thyself approved. Because you can't outplay a player, right? And you can't get over on me. I know the prices. So people getting over on me, I think you need to go back and do some studying because you can't get over on me.
You know what it is?
Because I did my work. I did my study. I did my homework.
I got to defend the people. People come to the church in a state of
despair,
crisis.
Right?
Right? And they have an initial experience. And that ultimately gets manipulated. Now, you came to the church, you was down, you was depressed, you felt suicidal, you felt homicidal, you felt whatever. They were there for you. Now you're ready to serve the church and trying to show your gratitude. And then now they start figuring out how to take your money, take your time, and essentially block your growth. How many people do you know that's sitting in the church right now that's actually living and fulfilling their purpose in life in God?
But at some point, bro, you got to make it
make sense.
Right?
Hold on. True story, right? How many people in church, tithing members, are thriving in life?
Not many.
How many people can actually say, you know what? My church supports my business.
And that's the
How
point.
many people, particularly in the black church, I prefer to say the black ass church. How many people can actually say in the black ass church, hold on, let me just say this. My church supports my project that I'm working on. Who's the number one hater of the project that you're trying to do? Your church.
Not every church.
Hold on. I'm not saying there's not good churches out there. There are. I just don't know where they are.
And at that point of maturity, that person has to say, you might have came in here broke, busted, disgusted, but at some point, you got to make a conscious decision. If it hurts, say ouch.
Some people don't know how because the psychological warfare is so powerful that they got it in their mind that this is a pastor and I can't criticize them. This is the church organization and this is a holy institution.
Well, then we
and
need
hold on. This is a holy institution and therefore I'm just a member of the pew and therefore I have to accept this abuse.
So.
And when you say something, sometimes the pastors will start acting funny.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Cause
Hold on.
we come from the streets. So what we gotta do, we gotta raise up some Moseses that's gonna go and grab the people up out of there.
We're not talking
and say,
about you. This is a good man right here.
This is your time
Hold on.
No, this is your time of Exodus.
Let me say that.
Like you've been going through, you've been struggling, you ain't getting the help you need. Get from over there, come over here where it's better,
That's a good
and
man.
you're gonna get the support you
He's a
need.
good man.
You
He's
gotta
not
get a
like
Moses. You gotta get a Moses that's gonna set the people free. That's the time we're living in. But God allows this to happen. Why? So he can bring salvation to his people. Now when that call of salvation goes out, if you want to stay in Egypt, then stay in Egypt.
Okay.
You want to stay where people are misusing you and taking your money and you got nothing to show, stay there. But if you really want better, there's people, there's organizations out there
Sister
that
Teasy
you
said
gotta
if you start
disconnect
speaking your
and
mind, they're
reconnect.
gonna bully you in church.
Nah, they come over here. Come to MTF. Over here, you're more than family.
Sister Teasy said, if you start speaking your mind, they're gonna start bullying
And
you.
that's true. Some churches is like that.
Listen,
I've been in churches where
I'm
I
gonna
got
tell you
kicked
something.
out for speaking
People say,
up
you
my
know
mind.
what? You know, they did this to me. What should I do? Stop giving them your money. Stop giving them your damn money and stop giving them your time. Go home and pray in your closet. Turn on the TV preacher or something like that.
I'm gonna tell them like Suge Knight told people, you know, if you worried about your pastor being all in the camera, all in the videos, all in your wallet, all in your pocket, come on over to MTF. Come on over to MTF, man.
So, when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about your ministry.
Nah, it's all good, man.
You know, he's a good minister, man of God. You have a great vision, and I believe I'm a part of your ministry. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. So,
To God be the glory. Baruch Hashem.
but listen, those other guys, it's a wrap for you, man. You're going down. No, I'm just joking.
But we carry the mandate to show the people
I'm
something
chilling,
different.
man.
And that's the main focus.
changing
is
my
that
way.
We're creating these systems, we're creating these organizations to show the world something different that is profitable and it works. And it's multifaceted. We're not gonna just preach you the gospel and tell you the word, but we're gonna invite you to certain systems and certain structures that we're working on to make you a better person, make you more profitable, make you wealthy, and leave a family generational wealth that you'll be
You gotta
proud
get
to
to the
say.
money, man.
I'm glad I came here.
Amen.
So we got a lot more to talk about.
We definitely got a lot more to talk about. We haven't got to the generational wealth, but we'll talk about that
Oh, it's
later.
coming soon, man.
We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna get Sister Peasy up here. Sister Teasy, sorry. Sister Teasy. We're gonna talk about women empowerment, the most powerful group in the world, women. Where would we be without the women? The most powerful group in the world.
This is a man's world.
They are the smartest.
It'd be nothing
Everybody does everything
without
for the
a woman
woman.
or a girl.
They're always right, and we are always wrong.
And on that note, I'm gonna go take out the trash.
They are always right, and we are always.
How you doing, my sister? Nice to meet you. Yo.
Hey, yo,
You're about to go viral, man. Like, yo.